Bom dia, feliz domingo. Happy Sunday, everybody. Hi, hi, hi. Bom dia, bom dia. Hoje nossa live vai ser em inglês. Faz tempo que a gente não faz uma live em inglês. Então, vou pedir para vocês brasileiros aí acompanharem, se puderem. Se tiver alguma perguntinha, coloquem na caixinha de perguntas. Bom dia a todos. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being with me today again. Sunday, gorgeous Sunday here in Miami. The weather is really nice. It's kind of chilly a little bit, but it's sunny and gorgeous. Just feeling very relaxed, as you can tell. And I've dressed up a little bit because today I have DAMARES Lewis with Matt long time ago. I don't remember what job it was. My brain is terrible, guys. I'm so sorry. I have no brain whatsoever. And we always crossed path, we always meet up in New York. She actually came to Miami not long ago, and we met again. And I just thought it would be beautiful to have her telling her story, how she began in this career, things that she's doing today, for sure to inspire some of you out there. Hola, guitos! Hi guys, hello, hola, hola todos. So let me invite her here so we can chat. What's happening? Maybe it's the marriage. Her vibe is very good. You guys will see. Let's wait for her to come in. Hi, gorgeous. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Look at that skin. Look at that skin. Wow.
We can talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Oh my God. How are you, my love? I haven't seen you in a long time.
I know it's been a couple years.
Yeah. I mean, it feels longer though. I don't know. You've been doing so much stuff, and I've been doing so much stuff. And
I know.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm relaxed like you.
So I'm so chill. I think seriously, I think it's you. To talk to you, so I was like, I'm not even worried. We're just gonna chat, and like that's gonna be so much information out there. I'm sure it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm super chill.
Oh, nice. Where are you now?
I am in Canada.
Oh, nice. Is it cold there? No, it's summer, right? But it's
freezing.
Freezing. Yeah, it's so funny. Let's begin.
Okay.
So tell me, who is DAMARES? As a from the beginning, just give me like a little something of you and where you come from.
Wow, that is a loaded question.
Sorry, just to start, like a fresh.
Who is Jamaris? Wow. Well, on the surface, I'm a girl from Brooklyn my family's from the Caribbean. So my family is from St. Kitts and Nevis. And I was born in Brooklyn. I grew up in Coney Island. That's home. And then I began dancing when I was 7 years old. And then I started modeling when I was 15. We met at the Baby Fat show in 2006.
That's right. That was like one of my first shows. Was that yours too?
That was my first show. And then, I think on the outside, that's kind of who I am. But on the inside, I think that's changing every day. And I'm really excited about that. I'm happy that the world, I think, like when we first started modeling, it wasn't cool to be fit. It wasn't cool to talk about food and skin and all the other kind of stuff. So now that the world is really catching up with so many girls who've been on this kind of train for so long.
For a while, yes.
It feels really nice.
Oh, that's great. That's amazing. Oh, you're good with that answer. No, you haven't lost a leg or arm or anything. It's all good. And tell me more about Brooklyn. How was being brought up? I mean, all of the models that I know, and we are always coming from somewhere, from Brazil, from Russia, from Japan, or whatever. But
Yeah.
you always being the like local girl.
Yeah.
How did that felt?
It was in modeling, it was actually pretty hard, I will say, because we go to castings, you'd be in front of me, Obrigada, mi Manuela de Paula, and then behind me is like, hi, I'm Annabella, hi, ciao. And then I get up there and they're like, so where are you from? And I'm like,
The neighborhood.
Brooklyn. And they're like, oh, it's, I love being from New York because I think it made it easier for me to model because I got to go home.
Exactly. You had that support right there.
Yeah. So I got to go home. But at the same time, I do think that there is a beauty to leaving the nest. And so when you get to leave, and I wouldn't have met you all if it wasn't for the industry. So I kind of had the best of both worlds, but it was hard because, when I go to France, I'd be exotic.
Exactly.
But when I go to a casting in the city, I'm not.
You know.
So, and also like I love Brooklyn. People from Brooklyn talk about Brooklyn, the resiliency of Brooklyn. There's no other place like it. So having a home that colorful and still getting to work in the industry was like a win-win.
That's amazing. Tell me more a bit of you were saying that you started dancing with 7 years old. Was that
Yeah.
because you wanted, you liked it?
So I had a friend named Rachel who was in a dance class, and I believe I asked if I could join. And so
That little, wow.
yeah, so then I started doing dance class there, and then I started dancing at Boys and Girls Clubs, who I'm actually the ambassador of wellness for Boys and Girls Clubs today. So that's really
Wow.
cool.
That's amazing.
And
Congrats.
thank you. And yeah, I started doing that. I started in African and ballet, and then I kept with the African, added in some hip hop, ended up dancing at with this company called Bed-Stuy Restoration Corporation. That's actually where I got discovered because I was performing at a dance show at Chelsea Piers.
And that's how
And
you start modeling.
yeah,
Wow, I didn't know that,
yeah,
Damaris.
yeah, 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 yeah. I got scouted by a guy named Calvin when I was 15 at the end of a performance at Chelsea Piers at Pier 60. And I waited about a year and a half before I started high school, and that's how I started modeling. And now you and I take dance classes with Justin.
Yes. Oh my God. Those of you that haven't seen Damaris dance, please go to her page. She's the most, I mean, we are Brazilians, but she's the dancer girl.
See, I have to give credit
Those moves.
to Kenya Iberu, who's my samba teacher from Brazil. It wouldn't be the same without
Okay. Okay. You have your
her.
tricks there. That's nice. I mean, you dance beautifully. And it's so funny because I was in Brazil. You either model or a dancer. And actually, you've done both.
Yeah, because I went to a party with Lais Iberu,
Is it better?
and she just started going off. And I was like, what
Wow.
is this amazing
Move.
dance? She's like, samba. Samba Rio. Like, it was nothing. And then I started doing samba like probably like 8, 9 years ago now. So yeah, it's
Wow.
in my blood.
It is your blood, for sure. For sure. And then how was the beginning of modeling for you?
Whew,
So you got this.
you're just tell me more. Is a real
Seriously, no, it's just, I mean, I'm
No, I
sorry
love it.
for
I
the
love
question.
it.
It's
I love
just
it. I love
like,
it.
I kind of
I love
like,
it.
we know each other, but it's
I
so
love
funny
it. I
because
love it. I love it.
I found this way of like really getting to know,
It's so good.
it's
It's
good.
so good. Keep going.
Okay.
I love it. I'm not stumped often, so I love it.
Good.
Um, I when I started modeling, I've been actually doing a lot of healing from this because when I started modeling, I didn't realize it was a business.
Okay.
So they asked me to change my hair. They asked me to stay this size. They asked me to change my clothes. They asked me to kind of
Be someone
double down,
else.
be somebody else, right? And I'm still really healing from the mental process of, you know, having an entire wardrobe that's just black because of castings, or like only buying black boots when winter came instead of buying yellow ones. Like all of these little things that, you understand.
Of course.
Um, and on the other side of it, my first job was for Fresh Look Contacts, and it got me 6 billboards. So while I was this 15-year-old living in Brooklyn, at the same time I was on billboards and no one knew. So it was a bit of a secret for about 2 years while I was in high school. And then when I graduated high school, I did Sports Illustrated. So that's when everything kind of took
Start.
off. I was,
Yeah.
yeah. And my third job ever was a Yves Saint Laurent campaign. So
Wow.
I had
I
a very
mean,
quick,
seriously, it was just like very pointy, straight. Like, I
yes,
mean,
I had a very quick start. The same year I started, I went to Paris for the summer, by myself, 15 years old in
how was
Paris.
that?
Uh, Fun. My life wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for all of those weeks and months spent in Paris, um, learning how to speak another language, which I still am not that great at French, but having to surrender to other people and respect their culture in order to survive was something that really changed my life. But then again, I had to live with a girl, immediately I had to live with a girl from Spain who didn't speak English. So my Spanish got really good very quickly, right? And
That's the
then
beauty
when
of this work. I feel that
it's
we get pushed into situations that are very uncomfortable, but it allows you to just learn and
go.
improve, and it's incredible.
And I loved that I was in France doing all of these things because they don't they don't take they don't take themselves so seriously. So coming from this New York that's very hard and very like, like don't look at me, and then going to France and they're like Damaris, oh my God. Like
Ah,
it was so nice to be able to receive that type of energy as
that's
a
amazing.
young model. But at the same time it was really hard because I have a very athletic build. So I would shoot a
I
lot of
got
beauty.
that too. Yeah.
Like I'd shoot a lot of beauty, but I wasn't doing a lot of runway because back then, if you didn't have a certain look, which
Yes.
you weren't doing
100%.
a lot of runway. So then we're putting on the sports bras to try to make it look like we have smaller boobs, and we're trying to slouch so we look like we don't have the big shoulders. And so there's
As
a lot
cool
of
as we
lessons.
could. We would try to look as cool as we could. Remember those days?
And we just ended up looking like baby giraffes. It never worked. It never worked. So it was, it is what it is, right? You could say it's good, you could say it's bad, but along the way, the people that I was able to meet and work with, I can't ask for a better trajectory.
Amazing. I mean, I remember you obviously for being this very powerful upfront um, personality. You have that. So my question is always like, how was for you to deal with the situation where they told you to change who you were? Actually, that to that fact, um, with the hair, all of the trying to. That happened to me too. I mean, we know what to do, back then. These
I never
days,
saw your hair like this,
right? And I do
ever.
jobs now, and they're like, "Oh, we love your hair." I'm like, "Thank the Lord, it's about time."
Yep,
Because
yep,
before I was like trying to put all the models in that kind of like frame of size and the way the hair should look, and
yep.
and How was for you to, how did you deal with it? Was it easy?
It was hard. I'm not even going to try to sugarcoat it. It was really hard for me because at the same time I was in high school. So the person that they wanted to be, that they wanted me to be, a lot of girls got to come to New York and be this person and then go home
Yes.
and let their hair out and you know that both of
Be
those people were
themselves for a
here.
moment. Yeah.
Right. There was never any break for me. So when I put the extensions in my hair, it wasn't like the model Damaris was doing it. It was the 10th grader Damaris who was doing it. So there was really no hiding from all of the changes that were happening. You can look at pictures from when I started high school, and my clothes were very different than when I ended high school. Um, I will say though, it didn't work. Like I spent all of those years fighting, um, and kind of happy it didn't work because if I would have completely just said yes to everything, then I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in today.
Of course.
So there was a lot of pushback for me. My agents were very frustrated um, because I am very, very stubborn from that particular.
That's great,
But
though.
that I was. I'm very happy that I was resistant to other people telling me who I should be, and that's why like Komora was so great because she didn't put anybody in her show unless they had a certain type of confidence. So it was like me, you, Tassara, um,
Yes.
Miranda, Omira, like so fun.
It was those moments where we could be ourselves. That was amazing. It was amazing. Um, well, I had and your family, about when you were going through like those tough times, were your family in that sense? Were they supportive of your career, of modeling?
Yeah, my my family traveled here from another country, so my mom really understood having to leave home to find success. So I always had support in my travels. It's a little bit different when you get into like the clothes and all of the other kind of things that come with modeling. But yeah, my family's always been go do what you do. We'll be here when you come home.
That's nice. You still have a good relationship with them? You from a
Yeah,
big family? No, not a huge. Tell me more.
my family. I have in total. I have over. I'm gonna say 11 plus 16. 18. I have almost 30 aunts and uncles.
Oh my God. Do they all live around the same area? Do you guys own like the neighborhood or something?
No, they're everywhere. They're in Canada and Germany and London and the Caribbean and America and yeah, they're everywhere. I have a tribe. I have a huge family.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, that's great. I mean, it's today
It's
with
fun.
with a child, I feel like I want to definitely have more, just because it's nice when the house is full. I know it's messy, and there's always
Yeah.
like complaints and fights, but it's fights of love, and at the end of the
Yeah,
day we all.
I like my family is so different. Everybody's their own thing. One of my cousins is a pilot. Um, who I love dearly, and I love seeing his pictures because he's got locks down to his waist and he's up
Yeah,
in the Arctic, like, um, and then when I talk to my family in Germany or when I talk to my family in the Caribbean, everybody has a different story. And so it allows me to be different
of
because
course.
everyone else is different. Yeah.
That's amazing. Was there anything in particular in your model career that it really moved you?
this is an answer to another question because we have to go back to your web to manubymanu.com and how I
Ah!
discovered it. But was there anything that really moved me? So many things. I think back to Baby Fat, Kimura's last show in New York ever, she had me open and close the show. So as a 15, 16-year-old who did my first show as her show, and her being one of the only people, her and Miss J were the only people who would really cast me in New York for Fashion Week because I had that Brooklyn walk. And so when I found out that she wanted me to open and close kind of like a chapter in her life, I thought that that was really special.
Very.
And I always go back and look at that video all the time because even if I didn't do it for anyone else, I did it for myself. And it was so much fun.
It kind of showed you that you could, and you have that.
Yeah, like I think it's very easy to get lonely as a model. We're traveling random places and we don't know anyone. And so that moment made me feel seen. And that was really important to me in New York, especially because there's so many of us. So Kimura could have chose anybody to open and close that show, and she chose me. So
Yeah,
that
that's
was cool.
very special. That's very special. It says it all. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
And any particular trip, or somewhere, or a place where you've been to that you're like, oh my God, this is so amazing. This place is so special.
Turkey.
Ah, I've never been to
Yeah, I
Turkey.
stumped you.
I wasn't
my,
expecting that.
my, my first Sports Illustrated was in Turkey. And it was such a culture shock. It was one of the first times that I really realized I didn't know anything. And I was open to learning the whole time. The food was amazing. The people were amazing. And, you know, it's hard to really know what's true or false about information unless you've lived it. So that was a really great opportunity for me as an 18 turning 19-year-old to see how big the world could be, and really like check myself for how I thought I knew everything as a New Yorker.
Yeah, no,
Turkey
it's
is
true.
beautiful.
I've heard amazing things. Sorry, someone just said something about the show. I loved you on Pose. You stole the show.
Aw, thank you. Let me look.
We
My
need a
comments started
base
loading.
camp dance party.
Hold on. I need to look
Everyone
at my
gorgeous. So I just wanted to say, sometimes I forget, you know, I get so in the conversation and people like start putting all these comments and stuff, and I obviously never see them. I'm sorry, guys.
let me see. Oh, I'm talking and this is me. Oh, I see. Hi. I can't see any comments on my feed. They stopped when we joined. So anybody who's watching who's saying really nice things, thank you. And I think that was
Ah.
Andrea who said we need a base camp dance party. So coming soon.
Let's talk more. Oh, now where are you? Oh,
You lost me?
okay. No, there. Let's talk more of when, I feel like a few years ago you started going back to that kind of like frame that, you know, they used to put us, but I've seen that you start doing a lot of model work with the movements and the dance and the strength of your body. When was that? Was that?
Ooh, that started, I think, in about when athleisure became popular. Companies needed more models who were fit to book. And I think for me, it started with maybe like Gap
Yeah.
and going there and doing like Athleta. But it felt really, really nice to be able to go to work and actually use things that I do well besides just my face.
Yeah,
Uh,
and that was my question, like, right? Yeah, like, how did it feel just to kind of be you, like do things that you love and all the
it
movements?
felt it felt like I was being chosen intentionally rather than, oh, her nose is good for this shot or her eyebrows are good for this shot. It was, okay, her personality, her body, everything that she is works for us. Um, and so when I got to set, I didn't have to talk a lot. I could just go to work, which was really nice. And then also too, every person who was on the set had a different talent.
That's
So
amazing.
I think it really took away the competition that was there sometimes when you were younger and you just wanted to book the client again.
So that
And it just,
pressure, like anxiety, right? It wouldn't let you enjoy the moments.
yeah. So that was really fun. I still, I I am still learning how to process the modeling industry and this idea that models are not assets because so many of us are so smart and so knowledgeable and we can really add to a lot of these companies, but we do our jobs and we go home, and sometimes we never see the pictures ever again. So you know sometimes I'd have a really fun day at work, and then you never see those pictures ever again. And
Yeah,
so you kind of have to be okay fulfilling other people's dreams. Um, which for me, I'm so happy that I got to do, and so happy that now I get to fulfill my own.
that's nice. That's nice. I'm sure it felt, I mean, the way I'm feeling now when I book a job, and just be myself. It feels very refreshing. For me, it feels like effortless, like
Yeah,
before, obviously, I we've been doing this for how long? 15, 17 years, I don't
16
know.
years.
Yeah. But I feel like it's getting better in terms of with the whole pandemic situation, the conditions that the world is living. I feel like people are realizing what's essential in life,
Yes,
more than
yes,
anything. And to be real, to be true to yourself, even if you're not in the best day, it's okay, like,
yeah,
and really come together as a team because we're all going through the same things.
yep, yeah. I think
So
that's why social media. I have a lot of opinions about social media and the algorithm, but when it comes to being able to see that you're not alone, I think that it's very beneficial.
it is, it is for sure. And what are your thoughts on social media?
Oh, how much time do you have? I, I most people don't know about the algorithm, right? Most people don't know that the content that they see, 70% of it, I believe that's the statistic. I could be wrong, please nobody quote me. But there's a very high percentage of content that you see every day that you didn't ask to see. And so much of our time is being spent staring aimlessly at these screens. We're not blinking. Our shoulders are hunched over. We've got headaches. Blood flow is off. And it's mainly because companies profit off of keeping us engaged. And so, I think that it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think we need to learn and teach our children how to use it
Hmm.
so that they can use it for a reason and then put it down.
Do you do that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're very
I don't.
private. Yes.
I'm a very private. Um, I don't. it's kind of the last thing we have, right? Like our privacy, right?
Yeah.
And I think
And
I think that
every day we have less and less. I'm telling
I
you.
think I think for me, what coming from a place like New York, like you really, in order to survive, you have to be open. You have to know how to talk to the conductor on the train and the person in the bodega and wherever you are, you really have to shuck and jive, I would say. But when it comes to our privacy and social media, I've been studying a lot and reading a lot about just like what the effects of staring at a device all day are doing. We blink 60% less when we're on our phones. And when you blink 60% less, your eyes get super dry.
Yeah.
And a lot of us just don't really feel well when we are on the phone all day. We have to take break. We have to wear special glasses. We're doing all these things to mask and band-aid on how we feel. And did I, or can you see me?
A little bit, but I still listen to you.
All of these things that mask. I think I froze again. Oh no.
Yeah, but I'm still hearing you. But yeah, your gorgeous face is like a photo.
Thank you. It is, let me see. Hold on.
Now I think I like, yeah, now you're back.
Okay. I just think we're doing all of these things that take us away from how we're designed. We're designed to wake up with the sun, go to bed and not have all these lights in our face before we go to sleep. And we have the answers. We're just addicted,
Exactly.
so,
Just
just making it cool to put the phone down is the next step, in my opinion.
oh
It's
yeah,
like,
for sure. Going back to basics, to
yeah.
normal, to how the cavemen used to live in a way. But that's yeah. Yeah, it's many hours of conversations to go in there. If we start, we'll never stop.
I know.
Uh, um, I had a very good question, but I got caught up in that. So it'll come back to me.
Okay.
Um, Regarding modeling dancing, I mean, both for me are amazing. If you had to choose one, what do you
Ah,
choose?
dance.
I love
Yeah,
dance. Oh my
of
God,
course.
why?
Um, it's first of all, it's way more natural than modeling.
Now, this day,
But
someone asked here, how long is the model career? I mean, the model career could last until the person is dead. I don't
yeah,
know. It
it,
really depends.
it absolutely depends. You and I have been in it since the early 2000s, and some people start, they don't make it to the end of the year, they don't like it. Some people do 5 years, some people do it as kids. There's no
There's
real,
not, yeah, exactly.
but yeah, movement is life.
Oh,
There's no animal or plant or living thing that doesn't move. So I will absolutely take dance and movement and life and vibrancy over staying still all day.
of course. And I don't blame you. I wish I could dance like you, so I'll choose dance as well. But
Well,
meanwhile,
I
I'll
teach
have it
you
as a hobby.
I teach you dance, you teach me Portuguese.
Good. Sounds good. Sounds good. And with the dance, you did some professional
Yeah,
dancing, and so
yeah.
tell me more about
So
that.
I had the privilege of dancing on tour with Prince
Oh,
from 2012 to 2016, and it was the greatest time of my life. I got to be on stage and meet so many amazing people, but learned so many amazing lessons about life, slowing down, being yourself, taking ownership over yourself. And those are just things that have changed my life. And also, just as a model, nobody gets to see you perform. There's a couple people in the studio.
Yeah.
It's there's a fashion show, but they last like 12 minutes. So as a performer, as a person who grew up performing, being able to perform as my job was phenomenal.
Wow, that's amazing. And do you feel like modeling prepared you in a way? Like, for example, if you had not modeled and just gone to dancing, do you feel like that would have been differently?
Yes, modeling has been the greatest preparation, I would say. Knowing how to travel by myself, knowing how to eat in a way that keeps me healthy, knowing how to navigate meeting many different people every single week and still maintaining your sanity. So many great life lessons that were learned from modeling. And same thing with dance. Luckily, I was dancing since I was a kid. So, you know, I learned at a very early age that to have a great performance, everybody has to be moving in unison.
Yeah,
And it's not always like that in modeling. Sometimes people don't agree and blah, blah, blah. But if one dancer steps out of line, it's noticeable amongst the whole group. So dance actually really laid the foundation for being able to work amongst other people, but still be myself.
wow, that's incredible. That's it. It really is like a step further, like you're saying with
Yeah.
modeling, it's something, but that is absolutely amazing. And be with Prince, it's one of the greatest of all times. How was that experience for you personally?
Oh my God. It's one of those things you can't really put words to. There's more feelings than words that come up, I would say. But, gratitude. I think I am extremely lucky to have had the honor of having somebody like him reach out to me after
Wow.
seeing me. Because he wanted to work with me, right? And I
That's
don't take
that's amazing. That's
so
like no words, exactly like you said.
so I can't really put that on paper. So um, yeah, there's no way to describe working with someone who was limitless in thinking.
Wow.
Most people are pretty limited when it comes to, oh, you can't do this, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. No. If he knew you could do everything, it doesn't mean that everything's going to be amazing, but it's the difference between saying, I can't dance. Everyone can dance. Even doing this is dancing.
You're
But
moving,
we
yeah.
set these high calibers for ourselves based on what we see, and so we don't even try. Because we go, oh, I'll never look like her, I'll never look like him.
That's the worst thing anyone can say.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just putting the limitations straight in front of you. I
Yeah.
mean, we all do that. It's natural, but
Mm-hmm.
we shouldn't really, right?
It's I don't want to say shouldn't, but you know, you can. It's just a fact. I mean, you can't. If more people started saying I can, um, then they would.
Of course.
And even, a lot of people might not be in predicaments when maybe they can travel or they can um, actually physically leave, or, like those are different scenarios. But when it comes to thinking, you can. You can absolutely think it. You can absolutely, absolutely, absolutely think it. If you stop yourself from thinking it, you'll never do it.
Yeah. How did you get so wise? How
Um,
where this like mother nature and like grounded energy comes from?
um, hmm. Well, I grew up on the beach in Coney Island. My family is West Indian. Um, I do think a lot of it comes from spending so many days as a child on the beach, on the boardwalk, um, waves, sand, but then also my life experiences, right? As a 15-year-old, I had a choice. Was I going to let this industry devour me, or was I going to stay strong? You know, my mom is a lion, and so I definitely have to give it up to my mother for setting the example of what it's like when you don't take crap from anybody. But besides that, really just very grateful for the people who raised me and the people in my life. They're very, very, very strong people. And the mentors that I've had, from Prince to the different, I think working in so many different spaces at a young age also gave me perspective and gratitude that I find in our society. Most people talk about, well, this is what's supposed to happen when you're in your 30s, and those things were happening to us when we were 16.
Exactly. Mature, yeah, for sure, for sure. Someone saying here, I love how meaningful you are, and that's so true. Every
Oh,
word that comes out of your
thank
mouth,
you.
I have to be very focused because you speak so beautifully. But I love it, you know,
Thank
because it's
you.
like everything makes sense. Everything's in place. It's incredible.
Thank you.
How do you how?
No, I was just
No.
gonna say, I promise if I could see these comments, my whole thing is stuck. I would be
No.
answering.
How do you stay sane on a daily basis? Like what things that you do, um, that, you know, example with the social media and eating and the skin you have. What is
Well, I'll tell this to
what is
you
the
because
secret?
simple. Keep it things simple. My favorite activity normally is nature. I'm normally send me to a park. Um, Moving slowly has been the greatest healer I have ever, 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 ever,
Wow.
ever, ever found. So in normal circumstances, you know, I do acupuncture and go to my chiropractor. Um, I take a lot of baths. I am a bath girl. Um,
You love all of the like
love
scents,
all the baths.
candles. For a moment, you were doing
I make
candle.
candles.
You make candle.
I make candles. But for me, I think a daily activity is I always have tea. That's just solid. I wash my face with aloe. I don't have anything
Simple.
else. I just wash my face with aloe, and really try to just lay. Like, how often do you just lay flat on the floor? And I listen to a lot of new age music. I love new age music. I love spa music. So I make sure that my senses are also invigorated. What I smell, what I see, what I hear, what I feel. If my senses are happy, then my body tends to follow. But I mean, this is a whole. We could talk for a very long
No, but
time.
it's very amazing you say that. They're taking things slow. How
Yeah.
funny, because this morning, just with Gaston, he was just saying to me, calm down, because I'm very isolated, you know. I'm like, I'm doing this, in the girl, in the boy, in the shower, in the food. And he's like, it's okay, it's Sunday, you know, chill out. And how crazy you telling me. So
Right.
I love all these conversations because fun enough, and I always take something for myself, you know. There, I'm
Yeah.
sure for many others out there, but just
I
it's
just
it's like a light comes up above of light, you know. I'm like, you know, you just
yeah.
chill
I
out.
think we're using a lot of um, body responses that we kind of evolved to use in danger,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
when you get scared or you get anxious, your body braces yourself to fight. Um, so we're not really coming down from all this anxiety that we're getting looking at our phones, or forgetting our keys in the house, or
Constant
dropping our cell
information.
phone,
Yeah.
or and so our bodies are just like this all day, just like this. And so, really taking the time to like, when you breathe slower, when you breathe slower, just more oxygen and carbon dioxide can float the body, which is why there's meditation, which is why there's so many different practices around
Do
it.
you meditate?
But it really is, I do meditate. I'm not a conventional meditator. I probably meditate often whenever I'm laying. So in the bath, laying on the ground, in the airplane, on the ascent, favorite time.
Someone's in the
It's not,
bath right now while she's watching us. Vanessa. She's like, I'm in the bath now. So funny.
yes.
Good. Enjoy.
Um, so yeah, that's kind of I love looking at other cultures and seeing their healing practices. The Abhyanga from Ayurvedic culture, where you have warm oil being poured on your forehead. There's so much great information
So much good.
available. And when you look at the common denominator of all of them, you're normally going to find consistent breathing. Yoga, meditation, acupuncture, even Western medicine, when they have to knock you out in order to perform some type of healing on your body. All of those require you breathing slow. There's really not much great done, in my opinion, stressed.
Yeah.
So there's a
Great
time and
lesson.
place for it,
Of course.
absolutely. But I am notoriously, I react very quickly, but I'm notoriously kind of
Wow,
not chill.
that's a great, great, valid lesson you just gave to everyone, honestly. It's so
You're
funny
welcome.
because we know that's good, but we never really talk about it, like we
Yeah,
always from one thing to another, and the agenda is always packed.
right,
But like you
right.
said, it's so important to just remember to breathe. That's the number one thing. If we don't breathe, we die. So it's that
That's it.
simple.
It's literally, I
It's
mean, our greatest currency in life is air.
mm-hmm.
It's not our bags or our shoes. It's literally breathing. So
Oxygen.
we can cancel everything else out,
Yeah,
figure out how to breathe.
so
We be
true.
good.
Now, thank you for sharing that, honestly.
You're welcome. Definitely.
And to the last part, I wanted to talk about new projects. What are you doing now? What's happening in your life? You 30? Are you 30? No, not
I
yet.
am.
Oh, welcome to
Thank you. Thank you.
so to the new
Thank
30 age and era and decade.
you.
What are your plans? What's been up with you?
Well, acting full time now, which is great.
That's amazing. I mean, it's incredible.
It's
From
so cool.
modeling to dancing to modeling, modeling to dancing, now acting. You like a box of unrevealing situations. It's incredible.
um, life's pretty cool. I like utilizing all of it.
Oh, nice.
I'm
You're amazing.
acting. I love you. I'm acting. I just had a movie come out called Fatale, starring Hilary Swank and Michael Ealy, and I played Michael's wife, Tracy, which is really cool.
How was that
And
experience of like, I'm sure it's very different than modeling, dancing, like
yeah,
you have to have all the word, all the text. Like,
yeah.
How was for you the
I love.
experience?
I've been acting for about 10 years now. I was in this movie called Limitless in one scene with Bradley Cooper
Yes.
for like seconds. I know so many people are gonna be like, "What?" But
What? I am what? I
I,
didn't.
I, I like acting. I love acting because you kind of have to be where you need to be in order for it to be great. Modeling, you can show up and have 900 things going on in your mind and still take a good picture.
Yeah, like you focus on the frame and that's it.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
Acting, on the other hand, truly requires you to find your center and use whatever you feel like that day. And I'm excited just going forward in the career, you know, we're so different as people. And from the outside looking in, depending on what you look like, so many people probably think you have the same experience when that's not true. And so that's what I am very excited to change. I would say that if you look at me and you just think I'm a Black girl, understanding that there's somebody who looks like me who calls himself a Brazilian, or somebody who's from Portugal, or somebody who looked like me but was raised in China, right? It doesn't have to be so small. You don't have to put it in such a small box. So I really want to tell other stories of greatness, that, like my trip to Turkey, right? Like, so many people are so much more complex than the amount of information they can fit into a box on social media. And really just reminding people of that, and also having fun, really getting back to having fun, smiling, not to take away from any of the turmoil that is occurring currently, that has been occurring. But the world really needs the people who choose joy, because those are the people who'll be there for the people who need them. So that's also what I think artists do in general, models, dancers, actors, the people who work behind the scenes. We provide another perspective for current situations, which I think is beautiful.
That's amazing. And what was the biggest challenge for you, like, as acting? Like, did it came to you naturally, or you had to really prepare to just be someone else?
I've always been very dramatic.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh. I've always been very dramatic. The hardest part about acting was believing it, because we really got hounded into our brains that we were models. And that's it. And so believing that I am more than a label that makes me money was a challenge. It's a very hard challenge, especially when there's not that many of us who fully transition over into being actors. So there's not a lot of people to look up to who share the same story. So that's hard. But
you open up the path.
Exactly. It just might be my job. So it's all right.
You're doing really well, I think. Yeah, I think you can handle it.
Hey.
And I forgot something now. It's so funny because I keep so on the moment. I'm trying to like create all these questions, but it's so interesting what you say. So I'm like, okay, I need a second. I had a really good question. What was it? Oh, I forgot now. It's gonna come to me. Anyways. Oh, okay. No, I forgot again. What's happening to me?
Well, I will say, I'll just add this on just for our personal relationship, but for people who are watching, many years ago, I was starting to realize that I didn't want to do these jobs and travel anymore while like hating it, right? Like all the other girls you get to send, they'd be like, my flight got in at 11. There was so much complaining that came with modeling. And I'm like, this is fun, right? So I found Manu's website, Manu. And she had this one post about how much she loves the airport. And I was like, what? So I click on the post, this beautiful photo of a Starbucks cup. And she's like, yeah, I love the airport because I get to, you are actually one of the first people who showed me what it's like to slow down.
Oh, wow.
To go to the airport, to get your coffee, to settle in, to get ready for your flight. And so I began to do that, and now I absolutely love the experience of going through the airport. But that whole website was about enjoying life and slowing down, to enjoy your wine, to enjoy, you know, like when you'd say like, I'm gone for 10 days, but I'm only packing 2 bikinis and I'll mismatch them, right? That,
Of course.
that website really was the first time I'd seen from another model that you could do this job, have fun, but still not have excess. You don't have to buy 900 pairs of shoes. You don't have to buy 900 watches. So that really changed my life. I talk about it all the
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, every time you see me, like, oh my God, that website, my new,
time.
it's so great. I'm happy I've, create that. And it just by listening to you talking, I'm like, I mean, these days, I don't think I have the time, but I miss those days where I would take photos of everything and just
Yeah.
get home and edit and really pass that information along of like just simple, easy,
Yeah.
try to
Well,
have the
it's there
most
for anybody who's watching.
money
ManuByManu.com.
by money.com. Thank you
It's
so
waiting for
much.
you. And the Real Healthy model.
Oh yeah, that's a new thing, and it's funny. I just realized that now. Funny enough, with that too, um, I'm just trying to pass information. The information
Yeah.
that I'm learning, that I've
Yeah.
learned with my health coach course, and I'm not stopping learning because I feel like when you stop learning, that's when your life ends. You have
You
to
stop
constantly
living.
improve, and yeah, you stop living, of course. And I
Mm-hmm.
just, even especially for the Brazilian market, that the people that I know from my experience, that we have so much fortune with food and how we should eat, and really take care of our body, because that's it's what we have.
Mm-hmm.
And they just like they don't realize that they have everything there, so just like
Yeah.
simplify all the information and
Yep.
spend time in the kitchen, which I love. So that's nice. It's nice. I feel
Do
like
love.
yeah, I love it. Is there anything that you still want to do? I mean, in terms of career wise, any dream that you have that you'd like to accomplish?
Well, I'm doing one now. I'm on a TV show called Titans, which can't talk much about, but I'm a super. So that's really fun.
That's so awesome. I'm like, see, that's why I'm telling you, you are a
Very cool.
superwoman. I told you
And,
before. It's happening.
and Blackfire is her name.
Wow.
But to be honest with you, I really want to find the space. I want to create more space. So that space between text messages, space between thinking, breathing. Um, I want to create a life that allows me to create more space so that I can create more space for others to create more space. Whatever that looks like,
Mm-hmm.
sure. Um, but I've been really, really fortunate to work with so many amazing organizations like Garden of Dreams Foundation, Urban Arts Partnership, Boys and Girls Clubs of America, and my focus is really on the youth. And in order for me to give back to them the way that I want, I got to give to myself. So it'll be a fun ride, whatever that looks like.
That's
But I just want to
amazing.
have fun, be healthy, change the world that way.
Oh, that's incredible, Damaris. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
A word that would describe you.
Mm, that's hard. A word that would describe me.
I got you now, I think.
Got me again. A word that would I'm trying to think about what my friends
I mean,
would
or a
say.
phrase, or something very short and straight to the
Um,
point.
uh, I'll say a quote that I mentioned to a group of friends yesterday. There's a quote that says, "When a flower doesn't bloom, you change the environment in which it lives, not the flower."
Wow.
So I think that that's really the phrase that I would say describes me. I'm constantly changing my mental environment so that I can bloom.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily my physical environment, but how I think. Um, and just continuing to bloom, to bloom, to do what we do, to bloom.
That's incredible. That's amazing. Thank you. No, the phrase I'm trying. I hope I don't forget. If I do, please send me via
I'll
message.
text
It's
you.
beautiful, and it
Thank you.
just listening to it. It so defines all that we talked about here about how you take life on.
Mhm.
I never really felt you never negative every time that I met you and just to talk. You're always like open to new things and
Yeah,
creating something new. And like you
I
say,
think.
just go,
No,
go.
go ahead.
Just like finding things to make you stronger and happier. Um, it's beautiful to see you grow this way. I'm really
Thank
proud to have to know you and this
Same.
conversation. It's for me has served in an enormous way. Honestly, through my heart, I say it. And you really are true inspiration to a lot of us.
Thank you, Manu. I would say the exact same thing about you, and it's not even you don't try. I think that's one of the greatest things about you to me. It's this is who I am. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. This is what I do. You don't ever apologize for being who you are. Even with your hair, right? For me, it was like, oh, they made me change my hair, and for you, it's like, yeah, this this is what I did, but this is who I am. It's you never stopped being who you are to fit in to another mold, which I think is very inspiring to everybody who's
Oh,
watching. And I'm
thank you.
sorry that I can't see any of the comments, or I would absolutely be answering people.
Answering all
But
of them. There is a
um,
lot. There is a lot. We're
okay,
just like
I'll look
saying
later.
beautiful things, talking about Titans, but we can't talk about that. So let's move on. A lot of love. That's for
Thank
sure.
you.
Uh,
Appreciate it. I don't, just so you know, I never do IG Live. Like, it's like a thing. So, I love you
You're so
very
good.
much.
Oh,
I
thank you.
love
Thank
you
you. Love
very
you
much.
too. That was so beautiful. Thank you.
You're
Um,
welcome.
for your little time here, for sharing your life, your experiences. I'm gonna leave it safe. It's so funny how your energy, I feel it here. I feel like you're here
Oh,
because I'm so calm right now. Even the way I'm talking, I'm listening to myself. I'm like, why I'm so slow talking? But it's just like you passing me that vibe, that energy. So just thank you. Thank you so much.
thank you. Send me some sun.
I will. I will. There it is. The sun. Da, 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 da. My love, it was
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. Thank
Love
you
you.
so much. Bye, guys.
Beijo.
Thank you so much for everyone that enjoyed the live. I'm gonna save it on my page, and I see you guys next weekend. Ciao, ciao, Bella.
Ciao.